affect everyone's life every day. Some consider the brave people serving in the military as their heroes, and others turn to TV, to movie screens, to sports, to comic books and magazines, to firemen and policemen, to parents, brothers and sisters to find theirs. Who is your hero? Hi, Jerry here again for my IB Myositis channel viewers. The purpose of this video is twofold. First, to extend the appreciation to all the caregivers who tend to us with inclusion body myositis. The second is to share how IBM'ers might consider assisting their very valuable caregivers. Caregiving is not easy, far from it, especially when the IBM'er is a spouse or another member of the family. Everyone's relationships can be affected. As you may already know, some more than others, IBM is a rare, relentless, progressive disorder of skeletal muscle cells that in many leads to severe atrophy and weakness. If you have inclusion body myositis, your hero definition may change over time as your IBM progresses. Whether you are one of the 13% fast progressing or one of the slow progressing IBM'ers, there comes a time when you may not be able to do things alone and need assistance at your side. Your caregivers are not only your heroes, but are some of your country's superheroes as well. In the USA alone, there are more than 45 million unpaid caregivers that save the US economy an estimated $480 billion a year in healthcare costs. Those numbers will only grow as baby boomers age, and it's no secret that the number of cases of IBM being diagnosed is also growing these days. Includes the chances of complications and probable outcomes, none of which have been proven to be remedied by any treatment, medicines, or physical activities to date. Caregivers of stage 3 IBM'ers usually include the responsibility for assisting in transfers, dressing and undressing their patient, assisting in toileting, including pulling pants and undergarments down and up again for every bathroom trip, and irregular bathing or showering required. There comes a time when we turn to a caregiver to help us brush our teeth, wash our hands, clean our ears, and even comb our hair. My personal kryptonite is the inability to lift my legs up to get into bed. My caregiver must assist me with every transfer into bed. As an IBM'er's capabilities diminish, the caregiver's responsibilities dramatically increase, so they need to become proficient in operating mobility vehicles, patient lifts and slings, manage food consistencies to make easier swallowing meals, and much, much more. I'm not quite there yet, but I can imagine that when an IBM'er gets completely bedridden with this disease, the task for a caregiver will increase exponentially, and if aging in place at home is to continue, special caregiver training may also have to be considered. Having a family member diagnosed with IBM requires a lot of concentrated and often stressful times, and some of this caregiving falls into the hands of members of the immediate family, and maybe only one, the spouse. Because we're thankful that they stay with us, the best thing for us to do is to make sure that we always treat our caregivers with the consideration and gratefulness they deserve. Studies show that caregivers need almost as much support as those who need the care, and other family members need to be willing to give that support. While caregivers are superheroes to us IBM'ers, we must protect them from both injury and burnout. It's important that we IBM'ers do as much as we can to make the caregiver life as easy as possible. IBM'ers themselves need to be the catalysts to develop better routines for safe patient handling and be thinking of the next level of diminished capabilities in everything they currently do or will need in the future. So what might that gratefulness look like? I'm not only talking about the niceties of saying thank you every time they assist you, but possibly putting some action into your words of appreciation. How about arranging an occasional night out where you get your caregiver out of the house and away from the normal rigors of caregiving. Find a substitute person to sit with you, even if it's only for a couple of hours at a time. The concept of date night does not have to totally disappear just because you are in stage 2 or stage 3 of IBM. I currently have a functional rating scale score of only 5, but still make the effort to allow date night at least twice a week for my wife and I. If you've been watching my videos over the past 2 years, I've shown several tools that still make date night possible for my wife and I, including special eating tools, a power chair, a ramp van, and even a folding portable ramp if visiting somewhere not power chair accessible. Or how about finding a local restaurant that prepares takeout orders, or better yet, delivers dinner to your front door? There might still be some dishes to be done, but without the pressures and time required to also prepare the meal. One of the most important things you need to do with your caregiver is to continue to laugh and have fun. Just because your IBM has wiped out all your hobbies, encourage your caregivers to continue their hobbies and allow them some idle time to enjoy them. It's important to help them maintain their individuality and happiness, and that makes you a better patient as well. As an IBM'er, you'll have to learn limits in trying to help your caregiver. When your IBM fingers, hands, and arms no longer cooperate as you intend, then it's better to admit your deficiency and avoid making a larger mess for your caregiver to clean up. When lifting food up to your mouth regularly results in spilling on your clothes, your power chair, or floor, it might be wise to search for other means or request help in feeding. IBM'ers need to adapt to certain special accessories that help their caregivers. From buying and using necessary mobility devices such as grab rails and a cane or walker in the early stages of IBM, to acquiring a power chair with an elevating seat to avoid unnecessary falls, to buying and using a bidet attachment for the toilet to avoid some gross and unappreciated tasks in the bathroom and laundry. All of these aids not only help you, the IBM'er, but also make your caregiver's life a little less demanding. Do your main caregiver a favor. Find a second and maybe even a third caregiver. Caregivers need a break to avoid burnout and need some time alone as well as some time just to shake the cobwebs of everyday caregiving. If your caregiver has a personal event in their life, will there be plans in place to cover the caregiver requirements needed so they can attend a wedding, a birthday party, bunco night with her friends, a card game with his buddies, or even an unexpected funeral? The caregivers and the IBM'er are also a team. Keep the lines of communication open, discussing the care required and the future of your IBM journey. Schedule some time together to do fun activities to strengthen your bond, even if it's only watching a movie together. Encourage your caregiver to do nice things for themselves, watch a movie, read a book, get each other out into the great outdoors, if only for an hour or two. A power chair or scooter can make that happen while the IBM'er is still able to use one. A caregiver can feel lonely and isolated from the rest of the world. Their responsibilities are all-consuming, and it is easy to get wrapped up in the daily needs of the individual they are caring for. A caregiver can feel lonely and isolated from the rest of the world. Their responsibilities are all-consuming, and it is easy to get wrapped up in the daily needs of the individual they are caring for. Often, the caregiver does not know who they can turn to for help, which is why it is important to join a support group. When a caregiver joins a support group, even if it's on Facebook, they can gain valuable advice and suggestions from others and feel a great sense of relief regarding the fact that they are not alone. IBM Kit groups offer a way for caregivers to exchange ideas with others caring for an IBM'er, learn and share alternative best practices, and hear what's ahead in this journey with this skeletal muscle disease from others tending to someone more advanced in IBM. Sometimes a caregiver may need to call in emergency to help in certain situations. Police, firemen, and rescue technicians are trained to be able to assist and are only a phone call away. They will be able to help your situation without causing caregiver or additional IBM'er injury. Additionally, it may be a good idea for your caregiver to take some basic first aid courses to increase your survival rate in case of excessive bleeding, not breathing, or choking situations. But what about when your caregiver leaves you alone for just a few minutes? Let's say your caregiver walks down the block to mail a letter and stops to talk to a neighbor on the way, and you do something stupid like trying to pick up a dropped TV remote from the floor by your recliner, and you yourself end up on the floor. Your phone is out of reach to summon your caregiver for help. But there is an app that works in conjunction with your home Alexa or Google Home Media device system. Here's what I will do. Alexa, ask my buddy to alert Cindy. Within seconds, my caregiver Cindy will receive a phone call alerting her that I need help. And even if in our van running errands, the alert will come through our van's audio system. Let's look at a second scenario. You are a stage 3 IBM'er, can't get out of your chair without a lift, and your caregiver trips and breaks her ankle. You can't get up to assist her in any way, but either one of you could use the Ask My Buddy app on your Alexa or Google Media system to reach out for someone on your list of contacts for help. You can set up to 5 names in your Ask My Buddy account, and you can alert any one of them or even all of them at once if you think the emergency warrants notifying everyone on your contact list. The Ask My Buddy service is free for up to 10 alert messages in any 30-day period, or a charge of only $3.99 a month for up to 120 alerts per month. Hopefully, none of you will require more than 10 alerts in any 30-day period. If you already have an Amazon Alexa or Google Home device, check out the Ask My Buddy app for getting help. I'll leave their website address in the info section. If you don't have an Amazon Alexa system in your home, they are under $40 and only require an internet signal. There are no additional monthly charges for the home device after the initial purchase. With the number of IBM'ers growing each day in our already aging society, amidst a shrinking pool of potential caregivers due to smaller family sizes, our country may be facing a caregiver shortage cliff. We IBM'ers have to identify relief sitters to give rest to the caregivers we already have and exhibit as much appreciation to them as we can. Thank you, caregivers. You are our superheroes. In closing, I'd like to again thank my caregivers who give so unselfishly to my IBM plight. I'm not sure where I'd be if I didn't have the person I married 40 years ago and since has become my main caregiver. I hope all IBM'ers will be blessed in your futures as I am blessed today with Cindy, Laura, Nathan, Ethan, Mike and Patty, Bob and Rita, Bob and Gail on my team. Stay strong, my friends. See you later, and please hit the like button and subscribe button if you find this type of IBM information helpful, resourceful, or even a little bit entertaining.